Hi, this is an HP laptop, and I use Quick Play software. It's HP Quick Play. It comes on the laptop, and that's what I use to record these videos. And I swear I sit here for 10 minutes trying to figure it out every single time. I guess I need to make more videos just for that reason. And I just have to click on webcam. I need to double click on it. And it's not that hard to find it in the list. It's just I have to remember to double click instead of just clicking it once, because I keep on clicking it, thinking to myself, why isn't it doing anything? And it's funny now, but it's kind of like, I think I'm a smart person, so why can't I figure this out? Okay, hold on. Okay. Most of these videos, it's one of those things where I see myself and I'm like, oh, I don't look right. But anyway, most of these videos I do, it's just, I know when, like, I feel it in here, I'm like, okay, I need to make a video right now. And someone on Twitter that I'm friends with in Spokane, hi, you know who you are, she said that my last video is an example of what YouTube needs to have more of, and to be completely honest and just say what is in your heart. And I made that video for myself. I try to take people into consideration, but I feel to do videos in general on YouTube, or in general in life, if you do it for yourself first, and then if other people enjoy it, that's an added bonus. You should never live for other people, and that's what we tell children. But this is going to be kind of an update from my last video, and then of course I'm going to say whatever the hell comes out. The person in that video I was talking about, it's kind of embarrassing because I post a lot of comments on other videos, and then when you're like, oh, that person said an interesting comment, I'm gonna look at their account. I don't want that type of video to be the first video people watch of me. I want them to watch a video that's later than that, like I ramble about The Simpsons or something like that. That's not as important, because I don't want people to see a video like that and be like, oh, that person, and judge me, or just think, oh, or think things that you think when you first met someone, which I don't take that personally, because I would just meet them. This one person told me to kill myself, not because of that video, but my tutorial videos I get a lot of comments, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing. And they said, please kill myself, and I joked to Harry, I said, well, they said please, so maybe I should do it, but just as a joke. I have a sick sense of humor. But it's so funny when they said please. I'm like, how can you say please with that kind of comment? But anyway, I am at the point today, because it's a day-to-day, it's one day at a time. Okay, I guess I have to start from that video to now, what has happened. The person I mentioned, I'm not saying his name because I don't want it to come back and bite me in the ass if I say his name in a quote-unquote public setting. Even though I have mentioned his name on Twitter, I've mentioned his name on Facebook, but this is, for some reason, I just don't want to say it in the video. So anyway, this person, I waited, it was like a month after he told me to go fuck myself, or whatever he said. He said, don't send me any more messages, I don't want to talk to you. And then I didn't talk to him. I sent him a couple messages, but it was mostly I didn't talk to him for a month. And then there was one Sunday, Jennifer went to bed. I sent him a message saying, I miss you. I was just thinking about you. I'm alone right now. I would just feel so much better if you said that you miss me too. because I want to know that this is hard on you as just as much as it's hard on me. And he sent me a message saying, I do miss you. And he said he wasn't just mad at me, he was mad at himself. And I said, it's because you think that I tricked you? Because it was the whole thing about, he thought I was trying to get money out of him. I said, do you think that I tricked you? And so you felt foolish? And he said, I guess. And he said, I don't know what I want right now. I said, well, I still feel about you how I felt before, and I still miss you, and I miss talking to you. And he said, we had a nice conversation, and then we got along for about 4 days, and then he said, leave me alone. I do not want you bothering me. And it wasn't that I was sending too many messages exactly. I was sending about 5 a day, which, if you have a cell phone, I guess that's not that many. And then he was like, I really do not want to talk to you anymore. And then I didn't talk to him for about a week or so, and then it was the same thing. He got along with me for a couple days, and then he told me to go fuck myself. And then I sent him like 1 message a day, because it was just so, like, when you're going through a breakup, you're not supposed to send messages to people, but, because you're supposed to move on. But it's just like, I felt like I had to. Like, it's just, I fought with myself every night, convincing myself not to send him a message. And then in the morning, I felt like I had to do it to function or something. And I just sent him a message saying, I love you, or, remember how you used to be. We can have that again if you're willing, and things like that. And then a couple days ago, he told me to go to hell, and he said he moved cross country. So I'm like, okay, because I thought, well, is he lying about moving just to try to get rid of me? Either way, I need to not bother him anymore. And like I said before, it's, in the movies, there's a one girl that is crazy, and she like sleeps with the guy once, and then she's obsessed with him. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm that girl. And I think when I get older, I'll realize that that's not a good, because it's like, oh, I see an episode of a show or a movie or something. I think, is that bad that she's doing that to that person? But then I have to realize, yes, it is bad. It's just, I love a lot. When I'm attached to someone, I love them a lot. And so I forgave him just because I wanted his attention still. I wanted his validation or something. So today, this last couple of days, I've thought, well, if he doesn't want to hold up his end of the bargain, if he doesn't want to put in his effort to a relationship, then he doesn't deserve my attention, my love. And think about it that way. That's a good way to think about it. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't earned it or something. That's one way to look at it. Another reason I should, feel better. Because it's always like, you're the good one. You're the person that won in the end. You're the person that's right in the end. To make yourself feel better. Another thing is, because one day I would feel like I wish I was already pregnant by him, and then another day I would feel like I'm glad I'm not stuck with him. It's just like those feelings, like, I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship before where it was a really bad breakup, or you just were really attached to someone and then all of a sudden they cut it off with you. But it's just, anyway, it's every day it's a different feeling. And sometimes it's every second there's a different feeling. You're so mad at them, but then you still love them, and you're so, like, you do anything just for their attention. But then it's like, I'm glad I'm not with them anymore. And then 2 seconds later, I wish I was with them still, and I wish they would talk to me still. So anyway, then I think now, today, this is my feeling today, is he's an asshole. And he's very controlling, and he is just dark, and he just tries to suck you into his feelings that he has. And one day, it's just one of the things I have to accept is one day he will get a girl pregnant, and I need to accept, I need to be okay with that feeling. Um, because it hurts because I was going to do that with him. But today, at this second, I feel like she's going to be stuck with him. I'm not stuck with him. He's stuck with himself. Just thinking of him alone, he's stuck with himself. He cannot, I just don't have to talk to him, and I'm rid of him. He has himself, like he's gonna live in his own skin this whole life. I don't have to. So, that's a good thing. That's something that I can feel good about. That I should be glad that I didn't get pregnant by him, because I don't have an obligation to talk to him anymore. It's just, and I'm gonna feel that way even more later. But I did all the things you're not supposed to do in a breakup. But it's just, I'm very stubborn, and I felt like it wasn't over until it's over. And I have this, like, I make a plan, and then I feel like everyone has to go along with it. Like, I have to get what I want. I'm kind of spoiled in that way. But I was the youngest in my family, so I guess I've always been spoiled. But, and I just want to say, this is, like, I don't want to give you too much information, and besides, like I said, I was sleeping around with people. That was very, like, I was hesitant to tell you, but I had to tell you in order to fill in the story. So, I feel if you want to know about that, the details, you're a pervert. Like, I don't want to sit here. It's like, if you want to hear about it, fuck you, kind of attitude. The people that are really caring about me as a person, accept that I have done that in my life. Like, what if I was a drug addict before you met me? Which Jennifer was a recovering addict, and it's just like, it's one of those things where you did that years before I met you, so why should I care? But it's just accepting I did it, but that's it. You care about me as a person. You're just probably glad that I did not get killed or something hurtful, or I didn't catch something, something bad that didn't happen to me. And I'm glad that I came out of it in one piece. So anyway, the reason why I mentioned that again is because I am seeing a couple people, like I have a couple regular people I see occasionally, and I feel comfortable, and it's familiar, and I trust them to a point, but it's good. And I just wanted to say that is, I'm not completely cut off from that, but I'm seeing like regular people, which is a lot better than just finding some random person to sleep with. And it's easy because they email me and say, hey, are you doing something this week? And I'm like, no. Wait, that doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean. Like, it's easy because they email me on a regular basis. Like, I don't have to do anything. So I'm pretty lucky anyway. Say much about it. Was a little bit of a anyway. First, I want to admit to you, I'm getting a bit of time to respect my brain. Just enjoy that. Give him. And I'm saying this just to be honest with you people. Honest is the policy. I feel like you shouldn't judge me because I'm being honest. If someone's brutally honest with me and say, I don't like your shirt, I respect that they're just being honest, and they're just, like, I respect those people better than the ones that don't say anything. Oh, what else? Oh, this is big news. Uh, this is actually, I wanted to tell you, you know, what happened with this person, and then getting into Jennifer. I realized it was a few months ago, she has a disease. I don't remember what it's called. It's some long scientific name. She has asthma, and part of that is she has a disease where her, excuse me, her blood is slowly struggling to absorb oxygen. She's 31, she's probably not going to live to see 40. A few months ago, we've been trying to get her to come over here. But she says, well, you have so many financial problems already, you don't need to have, because we're going to have to support her until she gets a job. She loves working, she wants to feel self-reliant. So she's not like going to come here and then not work. But it's just her medicine is very expensive. So she kept on telling me, well, you cannot afford me. And so I refused to move until you can afford me. So a few months ago, she told me, she doesn't like telling me when she takes time off from work because I worry. And so, anyway, sorry. She had to take 3 weeks off, and she charged like what, $500 or $1,000 worth of, I think it was 1,000, on her credit card. She had some credit cards for medical reasons and for medical bills, you know what I mean. And she had to charge $1,000 because she had to go to the hospital, and she had to take 3 weeks off and all this stuff. And so I just realized that she's only going to get worse. She's not going to get better. She's been kind of neutral since I've met her, which was a little over 2.5 years ago. Our anniversary is April 10th. But I just realized that me waiting for her is not realistic. So we decided April, because I want to be there for our anniversary and everything. So if everything works out well, I'm going to take a few $100 pocket money and pay for a one-way ticket. And I know I just met her online and I never met in real life, but you have to understand, we talk at least 2.5 hours a day, every night, from my time 4:30 to 6:30. I talk to her, and then Friday and Saturday I talk to her for 5 hours. And I talk to her like this, I talk to her on cam. I know her, okay, and I feel her in here. I feel she's always with me every moment of the day, okay. So it's not like, oh, what if you go there and she's not who you think you are or think she is. I know her more than anyone's ever known her. Her parents and her were very close. That's probably I don't know why, but my voice is shaking. Her parents and me are probably the two groups of people that she's known the most. So I'm not worried. But anyway, I want to take a one-way ticket to her. Just take what I need. Like I have a big duffel bag that I want to take, a small one, and then Harry wants to ship it through UPS or whatever, but I have this laptop, I have a backpack for it that I want to take. And I told Harry, I said, well, can I put it in the overhead compartment? And he was like, whatever. I don't want it to get bashed up or anything. But I want to take this laptop and I have an external hard drive here with songs and stuff on it. Well, I want to get a CD wallet. I have a CD wallet. I might take my music with me, but I don't listen to it as often as if I want to hear a song, I look it up on YouTube, really. Um, but anyway, I'm deciding to do that, but I want to stay there for a year, about a year. And I haven't worked for a few years, but she can't afford me. And I respect that. Like, the sacrifice I'm making is, I am going to work. I'm going to work, odd jobs, like, just, no, I think it would be better if especially because it's quicker, I think, to get work, to do, like, temp jobs, like a job that's like a week at a time, and just to pay for my own food, my own expenses, to be self-reliant. And I want to, my goals for this next, when I'm with her, is to, I want to save up money right away for a one-way ticket back, just in case, because my mom, or my grandma has cancer, so what if she dies and I need to go to her funeral or something like that? What if Harry needs me? Harry, he had, his liver hasn't been working right this last year. They had to drain like 12.7 liters of fluid out of him, and he said, oh my god, it's growing again. Like, he's freaked out, but I don't know, maybe once a month he has to do it. Like, some people have to do it the rest of their lives. So he has fluid, but Jennifer's like, take care of him. But it's like, this is an endless thing. It's like I told her, I said, in April, you're going to be waiting for me for 3 years to come see you. He can wait a year for me to come back. Like, you need to be selfish and say, I need Jody with me. But anyway, I want Jennifer and I to save up to get married. She's mute, like I've said before. She can hear fine, but her voice doesn't work right, or doesn't work at all. I've learned some sign language because of her, and so that's going to be interesting. But anyway, I looked, and there's like churches for the deaf in New York, but it's not the minister, because I've always wanted, like, the reverend or the minister or whatever to know sign language, but that might not be an option, but we'll see. Anyway, I want to have like a very cheap wedding. Like, I wanted just to get eloped, like, and not have it be a wedding at all, just to get eloped, and then save up for 3 or 4 days and go. I kind of want to go an outdoorsy camping type of thing. So yeah, that's plans. You know what I mean? And then later, another plan that another is obviously going to New York. So I want to get on her insurance. I have dental work I need to get done, so I want to get that done. So I think that would help. She works for Coke. I shouldn't say too much information about her. You know, who knows who watches these videos, but she works for Coke, and she has really good insurance with them. So, of course, there's copay and everything, but I think that I could do that on her insurance. My wisdom teeth need to still get removed, and I have a couple major I have a bunch of little cavities, but I have 2 major ones that hurt sometimes, especially when I, like, eat something that's like, you know, like frozen pizza or something really crunchy. It hurts, like, it makes my gums hurt. So that's something I really need to get fixed. Harry had really bad teeth problems, and most of his teeth are pulled because of it. I don't want to get to the point where my teeth have to get pulled. I want them to get repaired, of course. So anyway, it's exciting, and it's something to look forward to. And like I tell her, I say, the more I think about being in New York with you, the less I think about this asshole. You know what I mean? and the more I think about other things, you know, it's all about thinking about other things and not just sitting around thinking, oh, I missed that person. And I want to feel like I want to get to the point where I hate him. Like, it's so much easier to hate him than miss him. So I want to get to the point where I'm like thinking about him just makes me want to punch a wall. Because that's a lot easier. It's like, oh, I don't want to think about him anymore because he's an asshole and I hate him. So, anyway, that's the report. I'm like 25 minutes. Thank goodness for me being a partner now. I can post these huge long ass videos that only a couple people watch, but that's okay. Like I said, these videos are mostly for me. Halloween's right around the corner. I've been watching scary movies, which I love. It's just an excuse to watch scary movies. Ones I've already watched many, many times, or the first time. I got these trick-or-treating microwave popcorn already, and so I have those aside. I got 2 boxes because we get about 35 kids. Harry's going to be off for Halloween. His days off for Monday and Tuesday, so I'm trying to get him into it. I'm like, isn't it going to be so exciting? You're going to be here for Halloween. And he's like, whatever. You know, why do you have to talk about Halloween so much? And so that's it. Like, I'm trying to think of other things to add on real quick. But I guess I'm just talking way too long, right? But you don't see videos of me that often. It's just, I'm glad I can talk about this person on these videos. And I was thinking about making a lot of videos, but I thought that would be just beating a dead horse. And that would just make me look pathetic or something. But I thought that would help, but I thought, you know what, that would make me look really bad, and it would just not be good. But it's just with Harry and Jennifer, they hate this guy with a passion. So I can't go and say, oh, I miss him, he was so good to me once, and they're like, why do you even waste energy thinking about him anymore? Like, they do not get it. And it's not respectful. And it's not respectful to my feelings. Them saying, you know, I wish I meet that guy, man, I would kick his ass. It's like, I care about him still. What? You can't say that about. You know, I just start crying. The other day I was crying because he told me to go to hell, and then I ran over to Harry and I was like, oh, I miss him. Why does he have to tell me to go to hell? And I was psychoanalyzing. Well, what does that mean? What level of hate does that? If you tell someone to go to hell, what level of hate is that? He doesn't hate me. Like, what's the worst thing you can say to someone? Well, for them to kill themselves. So it's like, okay, I can talk to him a little bit longer because he's not telling me to kill myself yet. Like that kind of thing. Even though I think I'm over the I have to talk to him mode. Well, for now at least. So thank goodness, right? Because that just makes me look sick. So anyway, I just am really looking forward to being in New York. When I was a kid, we traveled a lot. Like, traveled as far as a vacation is concerned, not like moving around. But during the summer vacation, I went to Europe when I was 7. When I was 12, we got in Winnebago and we went to New York and back, and all these road trips. So traveling's in my blood. I love being in a completely different place. It's scary, but it's exciting at the same time. New York is going to be so much different, and I am a bit naive, so I feel that's going to really toughen me up in a good way, and I'm going to work hard, and that's going to be good for me. It's just I feel it's going to be worth it because I'm going to be with Jennifer, and we're going to make videos, hopefully. She has a thing about being a webcam, but I'm going to try to ease her into it. I think this webcam that's in this laptop will be easier for her, but I have a camcorder that I'm totally taking, and a tripod, so I think a camera that's an actually handheld camera will be easier for her. She has post-traumatic stress as far as the webcam is concerned. I can't tell you because it's personal, but how should I say? It's just when she was using drugs, she used to go on cam for people, and that's a bad memory for her. Um, it makes her feel like it's kind of ridiculous, but there's a chance she'll relapse if she goes on cam for people, even for me. So I I offered to. I actually sent her webcam because I didn't quite understand. She didn't tell me at the time. She just said, "Don't buy me one. You can't afford one." I thought she was just doing, but I felt like she was going to be mad at me for a little while. This was a long time ago. This was like 6 months into our relationship. She said, "Do not send me one," and I sent her one anyway, and she was upset, but she understood where I was coming from, and she absolutely refuses to use it. Um, and so, but she's earned my trust in other ways, of course. So, her not being on camp, I've earned her. She's earned my trust in other ways. So, anyway, it's just like I want her. Like I'd be so proud of her if she could do videos with me and put them on YouTube. But anyway, I offered to send her a regular digital camera, and she said, "You cannot afford to do that. Do not do that." I could send her one for like $50. She will not let me. So she's stubborn. So if I did it like I did the other time, just send it to her without her permission, she would refuse to use it because I forced her to have one. You know what I mean? And I'm that way too. I'm very stubborn. So I guess that's why we get along, is because she's very stubborn in a similar way. And she's a wonderful person. She is a New Yorker for sure. Like she has that attitude, but it's sexy. Like it turns me on when a girl is like bitchy, but she's not bitchy in a self-destructive way, or in a way that's destructive to me. Like she would take a bullet for me, like without question. She's very like I'm protective over her. She's protective over me. Um, and so we watch out for each other. But she's also she like is the type of person that if she sees some on the news, like there was this, she hates Barack Obama, and that's one of the things we don't get along with is the politics. But she hates Barack Obama. There was this teacher that on New Jersey, I don't know, a couple of years ago or a year ago, that taught the children in school this. It was like, "I love Barack Obama and he's the president," or something. And so Jennifer sent this teacher a letter saying, "How dare you like indoctrinate them into your own political agenda," or something. And she was really offended by that. She's that type of person. She's also like, if something isn't, like if the steak is rare and she wanted it well done, she takes it back. Like she sends it back, and she's that type of person. So I'm not that type of person. Like I take a lot of crap from people, so it's like if we balance each other in that way. Like I'm more compassionate, and she's more like they don't give a shit about me, so I try to give a shit about them, but not in an evil way. It's just, like a chip on her shoulder kind of thing, but I get it. So anyway, that's all. Like I'm a little over 30 minutes, so I really appreciate if you watched this to the very end. I really appreciate you sitting with me for a half hour. I know I don't do these videos that often. I kind of justify these long videos because I do them every couple months or whenever I feel like it. So it's like, if I did these videos more often, they would be 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long. But I don't do them that often, so they're really long to make up for it or whatever. But like I said before, I do these videos for me first. I really appreciate people that watch these videos for sure, but it's just balancing it out in your brain, you know what I mean? So anyway, I guess that's it. If there's any major updates that I need to do in my life, I'll try to be more ambitious in doing a video. Okay, because I know a lot of people I just think like some people don't follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm taking a break from that because I really need to focus on myself right now. I need to not care about what other people's bullshit. I need to take care of my own, and so it's just shifting my priorities with that. I love people on Twitter. I love people on Facebook. I love it when a celebrity says hi to me, um, and that's fun. That's the one thing about Twitter. It's like totally, like celebrities are more accessible. That if you saw someone on Dancing with the Stars last night, you can send them a tweet and say, "Hey, I really liked you on Dancing with the Stars," and there's a chance they actually will read it. And so that's great. That's one thing that's great about the internet, and things are changing. Celebrities are more accessible. There was no way that you could talk to a celebrity before, and I've talked to celebrities before, briefly, and it's like, hey, I really love that person, and they said hi to me. So anyway, but I need to take a break. I need to just like shut it off and then focus on my own self. This the same name. Like I pretty much have the same name everywhere. So it's the same name on Twitter. If you're curious. And so, just like I feel there's some people. The original point was there's some people that just watch my videos. And so if you just watch my videos, then it's like pretty much instantly I'm like on Twitter saying, oh, Harry just got this fluid drained from him or something, and the other day we were fighting on Twitter, but it was just because we were being funny, and that's kind of fun, but he told me I was like being obnoxious, and he didn't grow up with Sesame Street because he's a bit too old. He's 52, and he doesn't have kids or anything. So I said, what character on Sesame Street do you think you would be? I think you'd be the Cookie Monster. And he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? Sesame Street? Why did you mention Sesame Street? And I'm like, I just wanted to have the conversation. What Sesame Street character would you be? Or what one you relate to the most? And he said, fuck off, Jody. I don't want to talk about Sesame Street. And so I said that on Twitter because I thought it was funny that he told me to fuck off. And then he said I said, hey, I mentioned it on Twitter. And then he said, fuck off, Jody. And then I told him to go to hell, and oh, it's funny. Funny, like, if you get the context, it was funny. Like, if I tell him to go fuck himself on Twitter, then it's, we're just playing around. But anyway, I think that's it. It's almost 40 minutes. This is terrible, isn't it? But hopefully this video turns out well and all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you later. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But anyway, I'll talk to you later.